Let's get into it. Sold Not For Sale podcast. Coach Colin here. We got Joe Rogan, Giannis Pappas, and they're talking about what people are willing to do for fame in Hollywood. And I love that Joe Rogan started talking about this because this is exactly what Cat Williams was talking about. It really was. Cat Williams was touching on what people do, the whole dress fiasco when it came to Kevin Hart, and even more. It's a really prevalent thing, and you can see it if you really look. If you get beyond the whole thing of, they're just dancing with Satan? Nah, that's just art. Oh, it's just demons? That's just art. Oh, does that girl have a song called Demons and she's dressed as a demon? Oh, that's just art. It's all just art. If you can just get past that, because that's absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Why would every single artist take the same portrayal of art and it's all demonic and say, like, why would they all do the same thing? That's not what art's about. Art's about individual. Anyway, if you can get past that, you'll start to realize that there is something going on with these people, and they are willing to do some pretty dark things. Let's just get into it. We got Sold Not For Sale. It is IamCoachColin.com. You can catch this right here. You can also get Public Enemy #1, and you can get the Sold Not For Sale, but the best one, the Great Resist. Do not join the Great Reset. Join the Great Resist instead. Discount code is IamCoachColin, all capital letters, all one word, 1 L in the name Colin, and do not sell your soul. Let's get into it.
It's comedy. If it's not, it's also comedy.
It's China's victory cry.
Yeah.
We got him. That's what I think. I think China TikToked us into a fucking coma.
They certainly have. Yeah.
I think we did it to ourselves partially, but I also think for sure, just like I said, like it has an effect on narratives about which way people believe, what they agree with and don't agree with. Whatever they can show you on that algorithm, that shapes things in a certain direction.
Well, I think they saw what our culture's about, what our weakness was, and they used it against us. You know, fame, what we worship, Tom Cruise, fame. And then once they democratized fame, they were like, oh, let's use this.
Yeah.
Let's promote, let's make stupid people famous. Let's make simple things famous. Let's push these in the algorithm so people see it, because then Americans will go, oh, I can get famous too. And then everyone started becoming their own Madison Avenue agency, marketing wacky, zany versions of themselves.
If you know actors, and you know actors, and I know actors, not all of them, but there's a percentage of them that aren't even people.
No, they're vessels.
Out of their fucking mind. And if you can convince that guy that wearing a dress to the Golden Globes is going to get him more attention, he's going to do it.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to do it.
Yeah.
He's going to wear high heels, and you're going to tell him he looks fabulous, and this guy is straight as an arrow, and it doesn't matter. He's just gaming the system.
Yeah. The people who are really into fame, you can really convince them to do anything.
Almost.
Yeah, because they want the fame, they want the attention, they want it bad. They want it so bad.
That's the question.
They want it so bad.
That's the question.
They're obsessed with being huge.
Yeah.
And I've met people like that. They're obsessed with it. That's what they want. It's just what they want. It's how they're built. It's what they're into.
And then the producer puts his hand on your leg and grabs your hog.
Yeah.
And you're like, but I want the movie.
And you do it.
So important.
And you do it. And you
the
do
movie's so important. He grabs you by your hand, takes you into the room. Ooh, Giannis. How bad do you want to be Iron Man?
Yeah.
How bad? How bad? How bad do you want to be Peter Parker?
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Well, that's probably what tips the scales, whoever's willing to do that the most.
Well, Quentin Tarantino was telling us about this old director that literally had a bedroom built into his office where he'd bed the starlets. So he had his office, they'd go into his office, and there was a bed in a room. And he would take them in there and bang them, all of them. You gotta be in the movie? You gotta fuck the producer.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Especially once you get that system up and running and you've created a few stars and you know how to do it, and they'll, oh, it's Frank. He's the guy who runs the office. He can make you famous.
And he can.
And he can.
And he will.
Can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting now because the world knows that that's the way it works, because it does. It does work that way.
Well, the Harvey Weinstein thing just
opened it up. It's like, that is how it works.
Yeah.
That is how it works. A lot of times people who rise up in the system are bad people.
Especially those kind of systems,
Yeah.
systems of power and influence. But I would say that that's like, I was always talking about Hollywood in that way, that is like, it's a perfect proving ground for like the absolute worst way to develop a human being. You take people that are already fucked up and they need extra attention, and then they move to a place where they're surrounded by people who are fucked up and need extra attention, and then you make them compete to see who's worthy. And you go in there and pretend to be someone else, and they decide whether or not they're like, you're someone else or his someone else. And you have to figure out what they like and try to be their friend. Maybe bring them chocolates and maybe talk to them about the latest Roe v. Wade issue. I, for one, have always been with a woman's right to choose. And they'll like formulate their ideology based on whatever this group of people achieves ultimate power. And, you know, like if you step out of line politically with any of those people, you're on that shit list and you're not going to be in that movie. 100%. You either keep your fucking mouth shut, or you go and you wear your fucking pink ribbon and you do all the things you're supposed to do, the black square on Tuesday. You do everything you're supposed to do, or you're not getting in. And so everybody is just like this like weird shell of a person trying to figure out what's the thing they're supposed to say and what's the thing they're supposed to support.
Yeah, it's a miserable way to live, but
it's a whole industry. That's how you make fake stuff.
Yeah.
That's the only way to make fake stuff. You got to get those fucking crazy people to pretend they're a minor.
Yeah. There's plenty of those people willing to step up and act that way.
It's just a terrible place to like be a human. And in that environment, it's so hard. Like I so admire actors who are cool. I so admire them. Because like, oh, you're just a guy. I can just hang out. Like Chris Pratt, bro. If he was right here, he's like my friend from high school or something.
Yeah,
he's like a regular guy. Just happens to be a giant movie star.
Yeah.
Like, how did you do it? You got through. You're all right.
Well, his looks didn't hurt.
It helps.
Yeah, it helps
a lot. But you can also be a douche with looks like that.
You can be. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. If you are, it's like, why?
Right. You already won the lottery.
If you're a douche and you look like that, you're like, well, dude,
he's a
take
fucking
it easy.
Sweetheart of a guy.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of guys like that. Like, I've always loved Ethan Hawke. He says a lot of profound things. He seems like a real normal guy. Lives in Brooklyn.
Yeah, he seems brilliant. Did you see that new movie?
I haven't seen it yet.
What is it called? The new Netflix movie. It's an apocalyptic.
Oh, it sucked.
End of the world movie.
Oh, I didn't like it. Yeah, I did see it. No, I did not like it.
What is it called?
Leave the World Behind.
Leave the World Behind. You thought it sucked?
I didn't like it.
What did you not like about it?
I just thought it. I don't know. It just didn't.
I loved it.
You loved it?
Loved it.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah. The only thing I didn't love is the animal showing up in their backyard. I'm like, this doesn't.
That seemed a little over the top. It
This
seemed a
doesn't
little
make
over
any
the top.
sense.
If I think what I didn't like about it, it seemed a little over the top.
Well,
I
that
liked the
was-
theme of it. I liked how they kind of turned on each other a little bit.
Yeah, but not too much.
Not too much.
But it's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think they're preparing us?
Yeah, well, for sure they set up
Get a bunker.
an affair. For sure, Ethan's weak and the other dude is strong, and
Yeah.
you know that's going to work out well. You know, I mean, there's not enough people.
Yeah. Julia Roberts still looks great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, the thing that threw me off in that movie was the fake animals, the CGI animals. Like that does, you just took me away. You've developed this intense psychological thriller. You don't need to have this weird animal mystery thing in the
And it
middle
didn't
of
even go anywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Well, there's no logic behind it.
Yeah.
There's no reason why the animals would all just show up in your backyard like that.
And they never explained it or nothing ever happened.
Unless you live in Texas. They're everywhere. But they're everywhere every day.
Yeah.
This movie was great and not so great in the same time. Like that part was not so great because
Yeah.
it didn't make any sense. But the rest of it did make sense. That people do go sideways, you know.
Yeah.
I thought that who played the guy that Kevin Bacon played the
Bacon.
crazy guy.
Underrated actor. He's so good. He's such a good actor.
Very good. I would have liked to have seen him more.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Why do you have one scene?
I agree with you.
This fascinating guy who's already prepared.
I agree with you. It seemed like that whole in the house stuff was like a little. We got it. Like
Yeah, we
kind
got
of
it.
got that part.
Yeah, and also the tension didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
They wound up being friends.
Yeah.
You know, like the girl and Julia Roberts, like they hate each other in the beginning, they bitch at each other. Then they're hugging each other at one point in time. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Why'd you make them fucking cunty to each other?
Yeah.
You know?
That was just that. Yeah, I didn't love. I
Why-
just didn't think it could have been better.
Why did he not have his wallet on him? Like, what is all about this?
Yeah.
Drives there with, it must have left it in my jacket. It looks fake. You're setting me up.
Yeah.
There's real drama.
Yeah.
The world is over.
Yeah.
There's real drama. Why do
Yeah.
you got this weird interpersonal drama? There he is. He was good in it.
Yeah, there
And
was-
you know what's really fascinating? There was this one weird moment where the daughter and what is the gentleman's name? The same guy that's playing Blade, right?
Ollie, I'm not sure exactly.
How do you say his name? He's awesome.
He was
though.
great in it.
He's awesome.
He was great.
It just like when the daughter said to him, "You can't trust white people." Everybody got so mad. Everybody gets so mad. Isn't this a movie
Yeah.
where two black people are in a house with white people at the end of the world? You don't think that's a reasonable thing to say?
No, it's also part of the black psyche. They're always
Mahershala
thinking
Ali.
that. They're
Mahershala
always
Ali.
thinking like, "Can I trust this guy?"
Yeah, well, why wouldn't you say that you're a young girl? That's on brand.
Yeah.
You're a young girl with tattoos and nose rings, and you say, "Don't trust white people."
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
Duh. Why would people be upset at that?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Obama made this movie, and this is the agenda. No, that's not. Watch the movie. That's
Yeah.
not what it's about.
Or hang out with black people. There's
Yeah.
always a little something where they always have it in their head a little bit.
Well, they always have a story. And
Yeah,
you're like,
it's
what did
like-
he say to you?
They went through
And
some
you're like,
trauma.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what he said to me. And you're like, whoa. That one-on-one racism when no one's around has got to be the scariest shit.
Yeah.
That's got to be the scariest shit.
Yeah, you can't just wash away that trauma. It happened.
Yeah, it's a movie. It's a movie about people that are experiencing heavy levels of anxiety.
Yeah.
Where the world is over.
Yeah.
There's war going on. No one knows what happened. Planes are falling from the sky. This girl's mom's dead, probably. Spoiler alert.
Well, everyone's like overreacting now to the how that's been politicized, right? Like,
Spoiler alert out of nowhere there. For those of you that haven't seen it, I haven't seen it fully, but I've watched a lot of breakdowns of it, and I've been watching scenes here and there. Honestly, when I see things like that, if I already have given into the predictive programming of like The Simpsons and things of the past, fine. I see it, I understand. It conditioned me to think certain things are okay and not okay, but when I see predictive programming today, no, I don't go in for it. And that's what that movie is. But there's a lot to it. But I want to touch on the Hollywood stuff. But I'll touch on the Leave the World Behind stuff really quick. There was a lot of red and blue. Think of like politics. There's red and there's blue. When there's blue going on in that movie, from the grocery store, the paintings in the house, in their bedroom, just a bunch of different things that were blue. But when things are blue, and Stanley Kubrick actually used to do this, which is why I picked up on it so quickly. When Stanley Kubrick used to use colors to kind of paint moods. So in like Eyes Wide Shut, you'd see a lot of Christmas lights, and that symbolized possibilities. And then when you'd see red lights, it symbolized bad. In this movie, thinking of right and left, every time you saw red going on, red doorways, red things coming from the sky, red chemicals being sprayed, it all had to do with bad. So you're associating red, which you can associate with right, as bad. And when you saw blue, all was well, which you can associate with the left. Then there's a QR code in the map. I actually found that out from watching a few videos. So if you go back, when there's like a map and there's a bunch of like spots and this and that, there's a QR code and you could scan it and it'll take you to some abandoned thing. It's a real website and it's a real place. It'll take you there. It's like whatever. And then the Jenga tower falling out of nowhere, that symbolizes a myriad of towers that have, like not even like, even move away from that because you know where I'm going there. But just think of the country being like a tower, and it fell out of nowhere as soon as the emergency thing came on. It's a pretty basic type of thing, the country's falling, the Jenga tower falls, that type of thing. Then the paintings, if you look at the paintings in the living room, or go to the paintings in their bedroom, it's waves, and it's like calm waves at first. As the movie goes on, they get higher, they get rougher, and then they're like over 7 feet tall to show like there's a wave coming. There's a blue wave coming that's going to destroy everything. That's how I'm interpreting it, but it's just a wave that's going to like just take everything out basically. And then there are paintings in the living room. They are first very calm. They become more sporadic, more static-like as time goes on throughout the movie. And, at the end of the day, like I said, a lot of predictive programming in that thing. So I didn't really take it in and sit down and watch it. I'm just not into it, especially given the Obama. No hate towards the Obamas, but like they made this movie and I'm just like, nah, not for me. But figured I'd give you that quick little breakdown from what I've seen because I am, if you don't know, I am a definite movie buff. I'm really, 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 really into movies. I watch movies over and over again. Sound off, sound on, focus here, focus on that character, all sorts of stuff. But let's talk about people in Hollywood and what they're willing to do for fame. I have seen this firsthand myself. I gotta be honest. I've worked in film and television. I've worked on Netflix shows and series and movies and like all sorts of stuff. And you see that all the time. And that's the one thing that they always want from you. They want you to have a good attitude. And a good attitude consists of doing anything that you're told to do, working for as many hours as you can, sacrificing your family and your relationships, and not complaining whatsoever. No matter how bad things get, no matter how much you're demeaned, no matter how much people walk all over you, you're to do nothing, to say nothing, and just smile and keep it going. That's it. And then you'll have a good attitude, and they'll keep bringing you around. It's the most demeaning thing in the world. Now, I've brought this up before because I said Cat Williams talked about this exact same thing. We got Wesley Snipes, John Leguizamo, I think I'm saying that right, and Patrick Swayze, all in dresses. There's like some kind of humiliation thing that goes on before careers take off. These guys in dresses, you know, who else we got? This is Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi's a rapper. If you don't know about Kid Cudi, let's throw this one up real quick. Kid Cudi's a rapper. You'll see him in a dress, a wedding dress, standing next to some dude. And like, there's another picture of it later on. Lil Nas X in a dress, you know, like it's just weird stuff with these guys. But again, exactly what Joe said. Could be straight as an arrow. You're just going to do what you're told. If this is the thing that makes you more successful, if this is the thing that gets you to break through into other roles, and then you're going to do it. That's it. That's it. You know, that's why Dave Chappelle, you know, he did wear a dress. You know, he actually wore a dress on 2 occasions. One in that Robin Hood movie, and then once when he was even younger for Howard Stern. Howard Stern dressed him up as Robin, his co-host, put prosthetics on him, put lipstick on him, women's earrings and stuff. It was very uncomfortable to watch. I don't even want to show it. I still respect him so much, but it's a sad one to watch. So sad. But these are the things these people go through in order to get to certain heights of fame. All of them tend to go through it. And here's the thing. A lot of people will say, well, I haven't seen Denzel Washington in a dress. I haven't seen this person or that person or that person. It's not always a dress. It's not always a dress. Sometimes it's exactly what Joe said. Some director comes, puts his hand on your leg. Maybe you're at a party. Hey, come to the after party. You know? All of a sudden now somebody's talking to you. You know, they're the head of this department, blah, blah, blah. They're looking to see if you'll play ball. You know, they're getting drunk. They're trying to get you drunk. That stuff really does happen constantly. And for the longest time, people thought it only happened to women because that's where you heard the stories, you know, a majority of them. But, you know, again, I'll say these are allegations, but, you know, people have talked about Diddy trying to do things to guys in order to further their career. Again, allegations, no proof whatsoever. This is something I heard, but why would that stop? I myself even have a story. There was a guy, I won't even say what department, but he ran a department, older dude, clearly gay, and would constantly hit on me while I was in film and television. And for this one movie we were doing. And it was uncomfortable. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Like he'd be talking to me and then he'd tell me how pretty my eyes were, which I just have like dark eyes. Like, what are you talking about? And it was just weird. It was just weird and weird and weird. You know, offering, he's like, hey, you can change over here. And I'd be like, what do you... And then again, you can't have the bad attitude. So you kind of got to laugh it off, squeeze yourself out of that situation somehow, figure it out. But you can't be the person that goes, what the... You can't be that person or else now you just don't have a job. You know, and I remember this guy actually calling me. Let's go to another dress-wearing person. I'm telling you, man, these Hollywood people are pets. They're pets. More so than millionaires to be looked up to, they're pets. Just remember, when you see them wearing stuff like this, doing stuff like this, just remember, Paris Hilton. Always remember I said this. Paris Hilton would put her dogs inside of beautiful purses that were shaped like houses, and she would carry these dogs around. These people have ownership. They have handlers and ownership, and they're the same thing. You see a big giant house and you're like, man, I wish I could get there. You don't want any part of that. I'm telling you, you don't want any part of that. Not the way they got it. You want it a different way. Not the way they got it. Look at this guy. He's wearing makeup. He's dressed like it's just weird. Weird the things that they do. But at the end of that, the story I was telling you, the guy actually ended up calling me because all your numbers and emails are available when you're working on movies with people, so you can contact people and, you know, talk and, you know, get things done, basically. The guy messaged me after the movie. He's like, hey, if you ever want to hang out. And I was like, I remember I was gonna answer. I was gonna say something, but I was already on to the next movie. And then once you're on a movie, you're working like 16, 17 hours a day. It just got swept away. I got a lot of stuff to do. Still had my wife at the time. I'm like, just a bunch of stuff. And it got swept away, but I was like, that guy really wanted me. And here's the thing. If I had done it, if I was that type of pet that type of, I don't know, I don't even know what to call it, weak-willed person, starving for fame, don't have any belief in my own attributes to go off and do something independent like this. If I was that kind of person, I could have done it, and I could have had work within that industry, within that department that he was in, forever. It's just every now and then he'd probably get drunk and have to call me, and I'd have to do what he said. Those people, I'm telling you, man, these people in Hollywood, they're not to be looked up to. They're not doing this because of art. These guys aren't getting dressed up like this because of art, putting on dresses and skirts and dressing weird. They're not doing this to make statements. They're doing this because they're owned. You don't want any part of this. I'm telling you, they're so not the people that we should be looking up to. They're so not the people that we should be looking up to. Jamie Foxx, for years. And I loved In Living Color when I was a kid. For years, this guy was dressed up like a lady with his lips pouted. I remember Howard Stern even once said in an argument with Jamie Foxx, he said, he goes, you know your real name's not Fox, right? Don't let me tell the world why you call yourself Jamie Foxx. Okay? I have no idea what it meant, but it put Jamie in his place for some reason. Jamie didn't say another word to Howard Stern. It's very weird. But I'm telling you, man, these people are pets. They're owned. They're owned. Look, Harry Styles. You think Harry Styles really wants to wear a dress? You think he really wants to be dressed like a young girl screaming on stage singing? You think he really wants to do that? You think he really is like, that's the guy looks incredible in a suit. You think he just doesn't want to wear a suit, just look normal, or just wear jeans and just look normal? You think he actually wants to put rosy makeup on like he's Little Red Riding Hood? You think he really wants to do this? These people are owned, man. It's like Joe said, they will do whatever it takes, because their real obsession is, how do I get the fame? How do I get the fortune? I want the fame. I want the fortune. I've been working for it my whole life. And now this director says, now this photographer says, I have to do X, Y, Z. And then they do it. Whatever it is. And things get dark. Things get dark for these people, man. Look, we got Martin Lawrence, Wesley Snipes, Jamie Foxx, Kevin Hart, Eddie Murphy, you know, the Wayans brothers. I don't know if you know about them. Keenan and Ivory Wayans. Keenan Ivory Wayans has a lot of little brothers. These are two of his little brothers wearing dresses throughout a whole movie. And Will Smith's son wearing a dress. You really think these guys want to do this? They're owned, man. They're owned. Chris Rock hitting on Will Smith in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. What? Dressed like a real lady. Wig, everything. Like, really dressed like a lady. Like, head to toe. Right up against Will Smith. I'm telling you, man, these people, you know, and again, the humiliation rituals, they vary. They vary. Like, like, this is just like a funny thing, I guess. But it's also somebody came up to Will and said, hey, listen, you're going to wear a leotard and you're going to be dressed like a little sunflower, okay? And we're going to make it work for the script. You good to do that? And if Will said no, they'd be like, I don't know, that Will has a bad attitude. You think we can continue the show just Carlton? Maybe Carlton goes through a gang fight or something. He becomes the hardcore guy. And then Will goes off to, like, back to Philadelphia or something. You think we could do it like that? They'll figure it out. If you're difficult enough, even Kanye West. Kanye West in a dress. You know? Oh, it's a kilt. Oh, it's a kilt. You guys know how much history there is behind kilts, man. Dudes who wear kilts are actually badasses. Yeah, okay. That's how they do it. That's why when you see Sam Smith dressed as Satan, they're like, it's art. It's just art. You see Doja Cat dressed as a demon with an album cover that says demons. Oh, it's just art. Oh, it's just a kilt. No, I'm just doing a take on a kilt. No, you're just wearing a dress because you were told to. That's it. Someone came up to you. Dave Chappelle described it perfectly. Someone comes up to you and says, hey, can you wear this? And if you say no, more people come up to you. Maybe you get a call from somebody. Maybe the person that runs your record label says, hey, man, I heard you're being really difficult. Listen, we got you in a contract and you already signed off on a bunch of things. So listen, if you're refusing to do this, we're going to take it as this line of the contract being violated, and you're going to owe us $50 million. Are you ready for that? Okay, well, put on your dress then. But buddy, if you think it actually doesn't work like that, you're crazy. You're crazy. You think everybody just wants to wear a dress? Why does everybody that's famous eventually want to wear a dress or do some weird, odd stuff? And again, I know there's some people where you're like, I never seen this person wear a dress or do anything. Well, behind closed doors. You can trust me on that. That's Diddy. That's Vin Diesel. That's Kanye West. They all wanted to wear kilts. They're all into that. Okay. I guess so. Maybe. Probably not. You actually think Sam Smith wants to look the way Sam Smith does nowadays? You really think that? I don't think that. I don't think that at all. He used to look like a normal guy. He used to look like a normal guy. Now this is Sam Smith. Now he has to dress like Satan. What are we talking about here? People all on him, wearing horns. You think that's what he wants to do? The guy has an incredible voice. He could just sing. You think he really wants to dress like this? Be non-binary? Okay. I guess. Probably not, though. You gotta think of it. If you're gonna be rich, you want to look like a fool and be rich? You want to look ridiculous and be rich? Or do you just want to be rich? Do you want to be dapper in an amazing suit that's styled and tailored? Or do you want to dress like some degenerate? You're going to be like, I want to dress like a normal person. Can I do that? How about that? How about we just dress like a normal person? Look at Doja Cat. That's really what she wants to do? Okay. Sure. Or is she told to do that? She's literally dressed like a demon. She has horns coming out of her head. Her whole body's painted. Satan's behind her. What are we talking about here? I'm telling you, man. I'm sorry I just went on this long rant, but these people, these Hollywood people, they're not the people to look up to. And I'm starting to look at Cat Williams as my number one nowadays. Sad to say, you know? But I'm starting to look at him like number one nowadays. Don't look up to these people. I'm telling you, man. Don't do it. Look up to your dads. Look up to your moms. Look up to the guy in the community that, like, you know, knows how to fix cars. Look up to regular people, man. That's it. Build yourself into someone to be looked up to. Don't do it through the channels that these people do it through. It's disgusting. But anyways, guys, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And we'll do more about stuff like this as time goes on. But, you know, I have a lot more information when it comes to this type of stuff. But nice and slow. Anyways, like, subscribe, share. It helps tremendously. And other than that, I'm out.